Today's video is dedicated to those that know little or nothing about the transformative technique that is EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, which you may know as tapping. Today, I'm going to cover the theory behind this therapeutic practice, and also I'm going to cover how you can use EFT as part of your self-care routine and how you actually do EFT. Welcome back to Selfcare Karen. I'm all about empowering busy women to feel their best and give their best. If after watching this video you want to give tapping a go, then this is a link to my EFT playlist. I've got over 60 videos to date covering a multitude of topics. And if you would like to know a little bit more about me, including the EFT products that I offer, like custom written scripts, then please just take a look at the video description. So let's start by answering the question, what is EFT? EFT is like a secret weapon for us busy women who want to really kick stress to the ground and feel freaking amazing. EFT, or Emotional Freedom Techniques, is a simple tapping routine that works wonders on your stress and on your worries. What you do is you tap on specific points while giving voice to your feelings and emotions. And with EFT, you can acknowledge the stories that you have been telling yourself that may not actually be true. And you can also acknowledge the limiting beliefs that you have adopted through being taught that or through your experiences, and also the emotional reactions that you have learned over time. As you tap on specific parts of your body, which are the different meridian points, you are able to shift energy in your body. Okay, and let's just talk a little bit about the meridian points, because you might not have heard of those before. A meridian point refers to specific points along pathways that are called meridians. Meridians are channels through which energy, or chi, is believed to flow in the body. So with EFT, you tap on specific meridian points to stimulate these energy channels and address emotional and or physical issues. So this kind of goes on for me to be able to talk about what can you use EFT for. Well, my entry point to EFT was actually to deal with a chronic pain condition that I've got. And I found that following along to a tap-along sequence actually on YouTube really helped me to reduce the levels of pain that I was feeling or that I was experiencing. And, you know, the fact that I was able to reduce the pain with this kind of woo practice, I decided to learn more and try out EFT on different aspects of my life, different parts that I wanted to change. And as I've already mentioned, I have recorded lots of videos already covering lots of different topics, some that are very broad, like limiting beliefs, to something that is very, very specific, like I sell tapping scripts for women that are in the perimenopause. So, you know, I have used it and I do use it for very broad items, but I also, can bring it down to something really specific. So I would say consider what things you would like to improve in your life, and then you either tap along to one of my existing videos for that topic, or you can, of course, reach out to me and ask me to write you a custom script, or even I can do a custom video for you. If you have got a topic suggestion, then please really do feel free to leave a comment in the comment section of this video, because I take on board all suggestions. I want to be clear that I'm not advocating for EFT alone. Like, some things that are going on in your life actually do require professional intervention. So for example, EFT is not going to fix a broken leg, but it might help you manage the pain of that. And, you know, sometimes whatever's going on may need more expert advice or more targeted advice or help. So, for example, with a psychotherapist, a counsellor. But you can use EFT to shift lots of stuff, including things like stress and anxiety, phobias, trauma, and even pain, as I mentioned. It's not a magic cure-all, but I swear by its power to help with self-esteem, confidence, weight management, sleep issues, and sorting out things like relationship drama. It also for things at work. I've done a video on stakeholder management, for example. So if you're feeling stuck with a fear or with a bad habit, then I really would recommend that you give tapping a go. So this leads us on to the question, how do you actually do EFT? So hopefully by now you're sold on the technique and you want to give it a go, and you're just not sure how to. All of my tapping videos are there for you to follow along. So you don't actually need to know, you just follow what I do and what I say, and then you're good, right? And I did actually create a video a while back on how you can create your own EFT script. And I'll link that video up here, because like I already said, I do sell pre-written scripts, and I do sell also custom written scripts and videos. I definitely recommend, heavily suggest that you tailor your EFT tapping to something that you are specifically trying to address, because you'll get better results that way faster. When I tap, I typically tap with 2 or 4 fingers, and I start by tapping on the karate chop, which is just this line here, or it could be known as the gamut point. So apart from tapping the karate chop or the gamut point, I also tap on the eyebrow, the side of the eye, under nose, chin, collarbone, underarm, which is kind of like side of your boob, under your armpit, just here, and then side of your boob if you have boobs, right? And then top of head. And as I say, I either do with 2 fingers, sometimes I do with 1 or 4 fingers, however you prefer. Normally I'm tapping between 5 and 7 times on each point, but it can vary and I don't get hung up on that. When I start a tapping sequence, first of all, I like to check in with how I'm feeling, and sometimes I even give those feelings or emotions a number. So from like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most extreme, because then at the end of the sequence, I can reassess how I'm feeling and if I've managed to move the needle, if I've been able to improve those feelings, those emotions at all. And when I start a tapping sequence, I start by tapping on what I've called the karate chop, or what is called the karate chop. And when I'm tapping along here, I'm acknowledging out loud how I'm feeling about a particular aspect of my life. And I normally include 3 acknowledging statements when I start off a sequence. So, for example, I might say, whilst I'm tapping on the karate chop, I might say something like, even though I sometimes feel unsafe and in need of protection, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Or if I'm tapping on something else, I might say, I am ready to get what I want in life and I love and accept myself. And it just allows you to acknowledge where you are on a particular topic. My apologies for background noise. I usually speak and tap 3 different acknowledging statements, as I've said already, and that just helps me address different aspects of that particular topic that I'm going to deal with in that tapping sequence. And then I start tapping my rounds of tapping, and usually I tap on, as I've said, eyebrow, side of eye, under nose, chin, collarbone, underarm, and then top of head. During the tapping on each of these points, I repeat a phrase that focuses on the issues I have at hand. So, for example, if I was addressing a fear of speaking in public, then I might say, while I'm tapping on my eyebrow, this fear of public speaking, for example. And I make sure that the words I'm saying resonate with me. So if you're ever doing one of my tap-along sequences, or by that anyone else's, just make sure that the words fit in with your feelings. You can change the words up so that they suit your personal situation and what you're dealing with. I usually do 4 rounds of tapping, so that means I start off with the karate chop and then I do eyebrow, side of eye, under nose, chin, collarbone, underarm and top of head 4 times. And I sometimes add in at the end the 9 gamut treatment, which sounds even more woo-woo than anything else I've spoken about already. But it is believed to engage different parts of the brain, combining cognitive and physical elements to address emotional issues in a more comprehensive manner. And I have got a specific video on this practice. If you'd like to know more, I shall link that video up here. Once I'm done talking, I check back in with how I'm feeling, and I acknowledge if I've improved. Sometimes I decide to tap some more because it's a particularly cantankerous issue that I'm dealing with, and I feel that more tapping will give me more release. Okay, so it is quite woo-woo. I know it sounds weird when I'm talking about it, but I guess the multi-million dollar question is, does it actually work? So for me, the effectiveness of emotional freedom techniques, EFT, is something that I know has got ongoing research, and whilst some studies suggest positive outcomes for conditions like anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, conclusive evidence around that is really evolving. Individual experiences will vary. All I can tell you about is my experience and how the fact I found this practice to be completely transformative in my life. I really do view EFT as a complementary practice. I've built it in so it's part of my self-care routine, and I do again stress the importance that when needed you need to consult a professional too. So for example, I've had this freaking tooth pain condition for ages. I'm now, I've sought professional help with that. I've been to the dental hospital and okay? So I use it alongside meditation, yoga, swimming, positive self-talk, and all those lovely things, really just to be able to lean into the best version of me. And I do try to tap every day, but you know what? That doesn't always happen, and that's fine by me. I give myself grace on those days when I'm not able to tap. And I do notice that when I tap, I do have greater feelings of well-being. And as I said, it's kind of like complementary to my self-care routine. And my self-care, ethos includes giving myself self-compassion and grace if I'm not always able to achieve every single part of that self-care routine. I've got a tapping sequence coming up on perfectionism. So if you suffer from that, then maybe check that out in a few weeks' time. Anyway, hopefully I've said enough for you to want to give EFT a go. I definitely recommend giving a go. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll be back again soon, next Monday, with another self-care related video. And on Fridays, I always upload a beauty product related video. If you did like today's video, then please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, and feel free to leave me a comment. I take on board all suggested video topics. It was lovely having you here today. Remember, you are in perfect time. See you soon.